Maybe a little.
Well,
Actually,
unless
no,
you
that's a lot.
watch. Unless you watch.
No, people would notice because people tell me sometimes that the audio's off or that people are talking like this. And I'm like, yeah, it's my beloved co-host.
No, I've never done that in my life. I did actually a couple of times when people were talking a bit quietly in their celebrity appearance episodes. While I was away, I noticed the audio thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I get it.
Yeah.
Because they've been middle. I can imagine, especially all the really engaging stuff that I'm always saying. That me end up talking quietly would be quite annoying at some point.
Yeah.
Especially in the middle of an absolute, ripping story that I'm sure everyone's frothing to hear.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. I think the DHM boys, Ed at the start, had a bit of like waist action down here.
Yeah.
But he got the hang of it.
Yeah. Well, much like me, he's a bit fidgety, so probably.
That's a word I'd use.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Did you enjoy the guest eps while you were gone?
I did enjoy them. I enjoyed them very much so. I haven't fully finished the DHM one.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through. I was listening to it while I was in the airport, and I was audibly laughing. Like nice. I was actually laughing out loud in a large space, and I could feel people looking at me, and I didn't want to turn around to acknowledge the fact that I was actually having a great old time.
Yeah. Good to hear, mate.
Yeah.
I didn't end up getting five out.
Well,
I got 3 out, I think.
I thought 3 was a good effort.
Good enough.
Personally.
It is harder when you're not here. Like it's not, well, mate, you fucking hope so. Giving you our 50% of this thing.
Yeah.
The one-man operation
it's nice to hear.
Is a little bit more tricky. But I thought everyone who came on was great. Everyone had a good time.
Did you do the affirmations before they came on?
No, everyone was like, what's that? I was like, that's Sanders' sort of
checklist.
That's Sanders' checklist, yeah. But what was I going to say?
But you enjoyed having people on.
I enjoyed having people on. I enjoyed having the guys on. And I hope it was good. Like for the people who actually don't know our friends, shockingly, there are listeners outside of our friend group. I hope it was good for you guys to get to know a little bit of the cobweb that exists. Yeah,
because I guess we do talk about them a lot. Our extended kind of friend group and the people that we have dealings with on the weekend.
Yeah.
And those people that were on are more often than not those people.
Yeah.
So I think it'd probably be good. Gives them some context, some canon, some Barflies canon.
Yeah, exactly. Gives them a little bit of a leg up.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope you guys enjoyed that because I certainly did. Another thing, well, I don't know if I enjoyed. Well, I enjoyed it, but then I was also a bit disappointed. I would have liked a few more mentions. Personally,
I did say in one app you'd fucking love a mention.
Yeah,
because I mentioned you and I went Sandra would love that.
Yeah, it was in the Blab episode. It was at the very start. You mentioned me straight away, and you were just talking about something kind of irrelevant. But the fact my name was mentioned, I was like, "Oh, here we go. What are they going to say about me?" And then
did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. And then you immediately stopped talking about me, and I was like, "Oh, damn
it."
Bummer. Yeah. Look, apart from that, I thought the guest episodes were fantastic, but I would have liked to have heard my name mentioned a little bit more.
Do you know what was tricky? While you were away was that I was in holidays. So I went back to working 4 or 5 nights a week. But the thing is, most other people work during the day. Like obviously you don't. No. But it was actually really hard to get podcasts done because of like the time schedules.
The schedules are off.
Like Jacob was on school holidays, obviously, and Delo's around in the day. So that was easy. But obviously me and Blav recorded like an hour before State of Origin 3, true. Which was tricky. So it was kind of actually a bit tricky to get guests on at times, but, the day boys will live forever.
The casual work, the good old casual work, hey? Monday off.
Monday off. How bloody good.
We fucking love it.
The R&R day.
Yeah. We bloody love it.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right, what's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Barflies podcast, episode 88. Joined once again by the great, the returning, the rejuvenated, the sexy Alexander Russell.
Wow, that's the best intro you've given me in all 88 episodes.
Yeah, probably.
88. No, this is almost 2 years. We're like a month away from 2 years.
That's crazy.
Yes, that is crazy.
Minus 12 episodes for, the big Sunday nights that we've had over the years.
Well, I guess it happens. It's a bit of wear and tear. Wear and tear for some ribbon tearing. And, back page included, we probably got, 93?
Yeah, something like that.
But we don't count those. We're talking general episodes, right?
Well, I think we should start merging them together because it's more of a flex. And then it looks like we have, I don't know, I think we should just make the back page episode 89.
Makes the catalogue larger.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying.
More impressive.
Yeah, okay. Good call.
If you're going to make something look larger, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Well, from experience, that's absolutely true.
What did you think about me giving Ryan the intro last week, by the way?
He did a good job.
Yeah.
He did a good job. He's listened to a few episodes, so he went with the script.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. He said he was a little nervous coming on, but I think the boys last week were great.
No, they loved it. Mate, how have you been while I've been away? How have you been up to anything interesting? Good?
Oh, gee, you put me on the spot there a little bit. Probably nothing I can remember off the top of my head.
The film fest?
Film fest, I ended up missing. Would you believe it? Couldn't get work off. Same old bloody story.
The horrors of working in hospitality.
The absolute horrors. And I was going to ask Ryan about it last week, but we did an hour and a half last week. It just got away from us so quick. Tends to.
I thought that would happen,
especially
with
those two on. But the films were great. We've watched them all back.
Yeah, I actually watched them last night for the first time. I've watched 3 out of the 5. I've not seen Tully and Amelia's, and I've not seen who was in Jared's group with his one.
The Aldertons.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet, but I've seen the other 3. I liked them all very much.
They're all great.
They're all a bit different, but they're all quite funny. And not all. The Jacob and Stuff's one's a bit serious, but the other 2 are quite funny.
Jared's one's serious as well, but it does have moments.
Okay, well I'm keen nonetheless to see them, but they were great. And yeah, I was very envious. Even when I was away, that was one thing I did have FOMO of.
Yeah, and we can't really we could share them, but it wouldn't make sense.
No.
If Xander and I were there, I would share our one for the public. So next time.
Next year.
In saying that, if we're on the same team, there'll probably be some sort of domestic.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Actually, look, we've done a lot of episodes of this together.
You bloody hope so.
Yeah, we haven't had any blow-ups yet. When it comes to some creative division, we'll just have a massive spat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need just a mediator.
Yeah.
Xander, go over there.
In the corner.
Go and think about what you've done.
Go and think about what you just said.
I don't know. Not really too much, mate. Probably not apart from what you've been up to over the last 6 weeks.
Well, it is the off season over here right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Winter time.
Oh, you know what did happen?
What?
Goal July. I'm sure you heard about it.
Oh,
scored 2 goals in 2 weeks.
Wow. Player of the month.
Well, some might say.
Yeah.
Do you know what? When I scored
in front of a crowd as well.
Yeah. And it was my first goal in 5 years. Pretty gassed about that.
That's massive.
Still coming last, but
Here's what it is. I have a friend that every time he's come to one of my football games, I've scored a goal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Big Nelson, Liam Nelson. Every time he comes to a game, I think I've scored.
Nice.
And one time there was a pretty decent, similar to what you were saying, there was a good crowd of people at the game. And mate, it was electric. It was an electric, even though it's playing Division 3 park football.
Yeah.
Doesn't change it.
No, not at all.
Doesn't change it. Still feels great.
Oh, it feels great. Mate, when there was a crowd there.
Oh.
They'd been giving me lip all game.
Yeah.
But how the turntables when you put it.
Did you celebrate?
Kind of. I can't. Not really. In hindsight, we were down 4. We were down 3-0, I think.
Okay, so you can't really celebrate.
No, but that was the biggest cheer of the game, no doubt.
Okay, right. Because
I kind of just turned and because they were on my side as well.
Yeah.
So I kind of just fist pumped and kind of looked.
Nice. I think the one I scored when my friend was there, it was to put us 2-1 ahead.
Oh, nice.
And it was just, it was a good moment.
And you just did a knee slide to the corner and punch the corner post over.
Yeah, I did the being a chainsaw in the corner. Yeah,
that's bloody good.
I can't believe you didn't know what that was. Until I told you the other day.
Well, I could figure it out in my head.
Right.
But I hadn't seen it.
For context, for anyone who doesn't know, the Binger chainsaw is Brett Lee used to do this the most insane over-the-top celebration. Up there with Timmy Cahill's classic corner post punching, where he used to just pretend he was ripping a chainsaw.
Yeah.
After he got someone out.
Speaking of Tim Cahill, probably the only bigger fart sniffer in this country than you and I.
Oh. Why? What has he done?
He's just a fart sniffer. Every opportunity he gets to post that goal from the 2014 World Cup.
Dude, you would.
Mate, it'll be like
you would if you could.
it'd be like a random Tuesday at midday, and he'll be like, "Oh, you know,
Great time in Brazil. Tuesday in Rio de Janeiro. Him banging one top bins against the Netherlands.
yeah." He's like, "On this day, 8 years ago, everything I worked for came to this moment." It's like, all right, mate.
Literally could be like possibly one of the best goals ever scored.
Yeah.
It's literally fucked.
Dude, the fact that didn't get goal of the tournament was insane.
Yeah, to be fair though, I mean, this is a bit back pagey. I was discussing this, but the best goal of the 2014 Brazil World Cup was, I thought anyway, Rodriguez's goal was pretty special. Juggle, chest volley.
It was just
from
chest
30
volley.
out.
It was just chest.
No, it
volley.
was knee chest. Wasn't it knee chest
No,
volley?
got played a ball over, chest 180, volley. It's like post in as well. I'll say this. I think James Rodriguez's was like more steezy. Like it looked way better.
Yeah.
But Cahill's was harder. There's no doubt about Cahill's being harder.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. I can
You know what I mean? Ball over the top, on the full left foot, posted in against the Netherlands.
Yeah,
You
massive.
know, just
That's
a
true.
young boy, mate.
Oh, you'd be frothing, mate. You'd be frothing.
Anyway,
Crazy stuff.
how was your... You know, when I was thinking about this today, when I was thinking about you walking out of this living room, only feels like a couple of weeks ago. But in the same sense, it felt like you were gone for ages. How was your... You know, you're going to be asked this 50 times by 50 people over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So let's cover some ground immediately.
And then that way
Highlight.
people don't have to ask me about it.
Give me your highlight and low light of your 6 weeks away. What was the scattest thing that happened to you? And what was your personal sort of favourite moment? Maybe go with your personal fave off the rip, just to sort of get the
Yeah,
blood flowing.
I'll start on a positive. Okay, so there was a couple of things that I really enjoyed though. Like there was quite a few really good days. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint one in particular because there's kind of like a couple things that really stood out.
Yep.
One was it's kind of hard. One was definitely Slovenia. That was somewhere I've just always wanted to go.
Is that next to Bosnia?
Kind
Slovenia?
of. It's next to, it borders Austria, Croatia, and Italy.
Okay, so it's down there.
Yeah, it's in there. It's a bit north of Bosnia.
Okay.
I've always wanted to go there, and that was just really cool to finally actually go. And then we went to a really sick festival there, boutique. I don't know. It's spelt kind of weird, but that's how the locals were saying it, I think. And that was a really, really that was heaps of fun. Got up to plenty of mischief there. There was one in particular. Tully and I got home after one night at the festival. It was obviously quite a large.
So who were you there with?
I was with Tully, Amelia, Annika, Nikki, and Kira.
Cool.
And Tully and I got home after the festival one night.
So just like to your campsite, or were you staying?
No, we were
off-ground?
staying in an Airbnb. About a 40-minute. It wasn't that far away, but the walk was kind of a long way. But it was probably like a 40-minute walk, or you can just get like a taxi that costs like €10 or something. And it was kind of on this like fun, like it was like a country town kind of thing. So it was farm area, and across from our Airbnb there was some sheep in a field.
Yeah.
And we got home and we were kind of still a bit sloshed, if you will. So we were just kind of trying to get the sheep's attention and stuff. And
That would've been
and we still
hilarious.
were we were still pretty awake, and we didn't want to go upstairs and wake up all the girls. So we were just kind of chilling down there. And then we kind of had this idea. We're like, because there was also these like apple trees, but the closest one was kind of just in reach.
An apple tree.
Yeah, in this farm area.
That's so. I've never thought about what country an apple tree would exist in.
Slovenia makes sense though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Tully and I had come up with this idea that we would try and feed the apple to the sheep. And then Tully adapted the idea to be even better of grab the film camera and let's try and get a photo of us hand feeding it, which then took like an hour and a half to do. And it was just a whole process. There was like...
Were the sheep not coming up to you? Or
No, well, that was the thing. So they did it at the start, but we hadn't had the idea, and they kind of went elsewhere in the field. And we got the apple, and then that was kind of hard in of itself because I had to hold Tully's arm while he reached across a fence and got it. Got the apple, And then to get their attention on the other side of the field, we were just kind of like going bah, really loud into this field. And they were like, also, they were doing it back. So they were like talking back to us when we were doing it. So that was fun in itself. And eventually they were kind of coming close, but then they stopped and we had a new tactic of we would walk. And then every time we'd walk, they're quite curious animals, I think. So they would look up and then they would kind of take a couple steps over and they would stop. And they would forget and they eat the grass. Eventually, after enough kind of like walking in and out of their eye line, we got their attention and the grand moment was captured. When this photo, I'm still waiting to see what the photo is because Tully has not got back with the film camera yet.
Yeah.
But that was just a bit silly, but it was just a bit fun.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So that was
you two sloshed idiots like barring at shit.
Yeah, but like that part was easily the best bit because there was this. I've got so many videos of us just literally in the field going bang.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
I think I put one on my Instagram post that you can hear us doing it. But yeah, it was a great moment, nonetheless. So Slovenia was awesome.
Was that dumb asking? Do apple trees also exist in Australia, or am I a moron?
What?
Like, you know how I said, like, I've never seen an apple tree before, I don't think, in the flesh.
Yeah, they're real.
Are they in Australia?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just not in New South Wales, I don't think.
Okay.
Well, not many. But I think they're traditionally like a bit colder climates.
Okay.
Things a bit warm.
I don't know why that seems so surreal to me that there was just like an apple tree there.
They're a bit biblical, I guess, the apple tree.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Kind of thing. But yeah. There are apple trees in Australia.
Okay, good to know. Glad we're covering. Back to just like old times.
And then obviously Montenegro was great fun as well.
Where's Montenegro?
It's just below Croatia.
Okay,
it's next to Bosnia. That was awesome. That was a great time. There was one day in particular there that was really, really fun. Paddleboarded out to like this island thing and just kind of snorkeled and jumped off cliffs all day and all that kind of shit. So that was really cool. And then I don't know, just seeing a couple people that I haven't seen in a while as well is probably one of my favorite things. Also,
you did bulk catch ups, are you?
Yeah, I got through some work, which was great. So I saw Rory.
Yep.
Stayed with Rory and Carrie for a few days.
Yeah.
Crazy story from staying at their place. Okay. This is like such a small world moment. All right. So think about how I would know Rory because he just by chance happened to move in with Maycaf.
Yeah.
Right. And I just happened to also know Maycaf. And then he met our larger group and all that.
Basically, for people who don't know who Rory is, he moved
from Newcastle.
He moved from Newcastle into our friend group just through through Facebook.
Yeah.
People were looking for a housemate and Rory moved in.
Yeah.
So no one knew who he was before. He's basically a complete rando in our group.
And then like we obviously got to know him over like a year or so, quite a few months. And like got like great one of the greats.
Yeah.
He was saying he missed you, by the way. He was like, "Oh, I miss Scotty."
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Should message him.
And so staying with him at his place with him and Carrie, and one of their roommates is also Australian. And I knew they said she was from Queensland. Anyway, one of the last nights I was there, we were going out for drinks. And I go, "Oh, like, where in Queensland are you from?" Because she's like, "I'm from Queensland, blah, blah." I'm like, "Oh, where are you from?" And she goes, "Oh, you won't know where it is." I go, No, like, try me. Like, where is it? She's like, "Oh, it's a really small town." I'm like, "Oh, what's it called?" She goes, "Toogoolawah." And mind you, Toogoolawah probably only has like maybe a couple thousand people living there. Maybe if that, like maybe less. Who knows? Like small town. And by chance, that's where my uncle and auntie live. I have lived there for like years, like probably like 20 years or so.
Sure.
And I tell her that and she's like, "Oh, fuck off, no way." And she goes, what's your uncle and auntie's name?" And I tell her and she's like, "What, the guy that has the plumbing store?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "That's my dad's mate." And then she took a photo and they like sent it to her dad and then like my uncle, and then I got back and my dad's like, "That is so fucking random."
Yeah,
that you met
wow.
someone from
Was she
Toogoolawah."
Carrie's roommate or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she was their roommate.
wow.
So just by chance, I was staying with Rory, who's by chance staying with this other person they met in London, who happens to be from the same country Queensland town as my uncle.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
Doesn't that like blow your mind?
It
a
does
bit?
a bit, hey.
Just like how that connection web has worked out.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I remember we ran into we ran into when I went in 2018. Just like a kid from my English class, just in our hostel in Rome. We were like,
Random. I'm pretty. Yeah, it is
oh.
random.
Like those things happen. It's bizarre.
I had a couple run-ins like that, but I'll tell them in a second. But I did have a few more run-ins like that, which were really niche. But I also saw Gary.
Yep.
Which was great. We went to the 5th day of the Ashes of the last test together.
Oh, Devo. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a almighty day there.
Yep.
Definitely cashed in a few fun coupons.
Yeah.
And I saw my other friend Nathan, who you probably wouldn't know, but a good friend of the show, went to high school with, and then and stayed with him for a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And then I saw Jamie, so that was good. So Jamie, for context, like friend from primary school and all like really close friend, and he's living in Glasgow at the moment. So we went to Berlin and
Amsterdam. He's living there, is he? Nice.
Yeah, went to Berlin and Amsterdam together. So that was really good time as well. Had an absolute blast. But on the meeting people that you know over there, like running into people, so someone I used to work with, I worked with them for about 5-6 months when they were on exchange, and they left like at the beginning of the year, so I haven't seen them for ages. And I worked a couple shifts with them, but not a lot. I know that they live in Madrid or they in Europe. Anyway, Ryan, Jamie, and I are in Amsterdam. We're riding some electric bikes around. We go around this street corner. And this girl is just standing there on the street corner having a coffee. And she's like, oh, hey. How random is that?
That's bizarre.
How bizarre is that? It's just like...
Because I feel like you almost like...
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, what? It was just... Yeah. It was crazy. But there was a lot of Australians over there. Like, everywhere you went, it was just... And I went to some obviously busy places, but... I didn't go to Croatia or Greece or anything like that, which I would imagine would be even more heaving with Aussies there.
Yeah.
But that's what everyone was saying. I was chatting to a few people in different hostels and whatnot, and they were just like, well, the ones that weren't Australian, and even the ones that were Australian were saying it, but just like, fuck, you guys are everywhere. And it was quite funny though, because every time you'd see an Aussie or you'd go somewhere and it was all Aussies, you're like, oh, fuck, more Australians. Like,
yeah, right.
But then, of course, like you just become friends with them immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, actually, these other people are a bit weird.
Yeah.
A bit odd, a bit strange.
Yeah.
But no, it was great.
Cool.
Something I didn't like as much.
Yeah, anything particularly like scat happened to you?
Oh, I got a tram fine in Prague. That was a bit scat. That kind of ruined my afternoon. I was having like a really lovely day, and then I was and I was just caught. Like I was caught red-handed. Like there was no And I threw every fucking piece of bullshit at this guy that I had of like live, blah, blah, and the guy was just like, not pay it. So it was only 70 Australian dollars, but it was, that's like a whole day somewhere.
Yeah, 35 euros, whatever. 40 euros.
So I was like, maybe it was 100 Australian. Anyway.
Annoying.
Just annoying. That was kind of scat. I kind of thought in some places what was kind of scat as well is they just like, well, some people have probably already heard me say this, so they might be rolling their eyes right now, but like some of them, like in Prague and Amsterdam particularly, they were quite rude if you spoke English or like if you're Australian, etc. Well, I thought so anyway, and it kind of tarnished them a bit for me. Because one of the examples was I went to this cafe, probably like got a breakfast, just chilling there by myself, cruising, go to pay, and the lady at the counter starts speaking Czech at me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like I only speak English. And she literally goes, oh, rolls her eyes. I was like, mate, fucking get a grip.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like I've literally just come in this fine establishment.
Yeah.
Bought a bit underwhelming food. And now you're rolling your eyes at me.
Yeah.
Come on.
You can probably kind of understand it from like, God, they must deal with so many like, just like dickhead travelers.
Yeah, true.
But like a person on their own.
I know.
Even if it's you and 5 of the lads there, like you can kind of like be like, oh, okay, fuck, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'm sitting there by like absolute Nigel no mates.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, and then I thought in Amsterdam they were a bit rude as well. Yeah,
I've seen like people posting like graffiti in Spain and stuff like that says "Go home, tourists" and stuff.
Yeah,
so I can imagine like they're all just kind of over it,
sick of it, and like it seems like well, I mean, It seems like everyone really is going over there at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
it's just been absolutely.
Well, there's probably going to be like a 5-year period of just insane tourism.
because of COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was everything other than those things, which are pretty minute. It was fantastic, and had a great time, worth the money.
How much did you drop? Can I ask? Or do you not want to talk about it on the pod?
I probably won't say it on here.
Okay,
I'll tell you after.
Yeah,
but
okay.
It was no, I'm joking. I won't say. But it wasn't like I didn't go
6 weeks.
6 weeks. I didn't go ballistic. I was actually pretty tame. Like there was a couple big nights in there, of course.
Whatever.
It is what it is, man. I'm just a legend. So, but there was a couple big nights, especially the last night in London with Gary. That was in particularly large.
Was that your last night there?
Yeah.
And you were scat. You told me you were pretty scat on your flight home, no?
Yeah, I was a little bit. I actually, oh, mate. Fire out. The flight home. Like, look, I know that you can't say anything when this is happening because it's just like, it just happens. And obviously, like, it's unfortunate and the parents can't do anything. For fucking the whole flight home, there was like a couple different kids on my flight. And it was like they were doing it as like a group, that one of them would stop and the other would start. So it felt like it went the whole 24 hours on the plane, but just fucking screaming the whole time.
Oh.
And you'd be like asleep and this kid just going, wow. And you're like, oh, holy shit. Like it was, or you'd be watching a movie at full volume and you can just still hear it in the background, just like immense screaming coming. And it would stop in one section and it would start another place, just like going all the way around. It was
Even you had the layover, then back on the other.
and
flight.
they were on my other flight as well.
Oh, mate.
And like, you know, you can't say anything at the time, but you know what? You're certainly entitled to bitch about it afterwards. So,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
here we
tough.
are. Yeah,
That's
it was
tough.
grim. There was also a guy next to me, this Chinese guy on the flight, and his alarm went off on his phone, but no one could figure out what, because it wasn't a usual alarm. It was kind of soft but loud. And it was going off for like 15 minutes and no one could figure out. And eventually we found out it was this guy's phone. And he was fast asleep, but it woke everyone else up around the plane.
Yeah, right.
Which is kind of ironic. But yeah.
Oh, God. That part of traveling sucks. I'm such a sook with snoring and
You're
crying,
on planes?
just in general.
Right.
Like, if I'm in the same room as someone snoring, I'm going to lie there in rage.
Or if someone's having like an absolute breakdown in front of you, just like,
No,
this is-
children.
This crying's too much for me. Get out.
Rein it in, babe, all right?
I've had enough already. There you go.
No, children crying. God,
Right.
it's just like, I mean, you know all about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because I have a couple kids myself. So yeah, it's tough.
Nice.
But yeah, it was just like I didn't know I thought at some point, surely I was thinking they have to stop. Like
They
this
just get
has,
so tired from it.
and it was like 2 legs. It was like 13 hours, 9 hours. It just nonstop.
Oh,
It was I mean, it's kind of impressive, but at the same time, it was just it
taxing.
was relentless.
Do you have, what over-ear headphones do you have? Do you have noise-cancelling ones?
So when you guys were talking about this on the pod, I wanted to jump in because you know how you and Blav were talking about what headphones you have. I have the synthesizer ones.
Which ones are they?
The
What brand?
Do you want me to do? I'll show you.
Are they the ones you wear all the time?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Are these noise cancelling?
they were.
Okay.
But
They look like they've run their course.
Yeah, mate, they're pretty old. They'd be about like, they would be what, like 4 years old.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, best pair of headphones I ever had. But these didn't connect in at the plane, so I was just screwed. So it was just I just had the little scat earplugs they give you.
You didn't take AirPods or anything as well. You didn't double.
I don't have AirPods. I don't have AirPods.
That's a
mate.
tough deal.
Yeah, it was tough.
What do you mean they didn't screw in? Are they corded?
No, it was like a double plug one on China Airlines. They didn't have like the single plug where you can put your own in. They just didn't have it.
What do you mean?
It was like a two-pronged mic connection or audio connection,
Right.
not one
Okay.
like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I'll draw you a picture later if you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Yeah. If you want to like we'll figure
Visual
it out.
representation.
Yeah. But I tell you what though, China Airlines. I got quite a comparatively cheap flight to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Mate, food on there, banging. I reckon the best airplane food I've ever had.
Good to know.
I was asking for seconds multiple times.
Can you do that on
You
planes?
can.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't know that until the guy next to me did it. And I went, oh,
Go on then.
can I have another one, please?
Go on then.
Yeah.
What were they running?
Just like this, like chicken and rice, beef and rice,
Nice.
with like some veggies and stuff. Good, like the brekkie was good. Yeah, it was just the beef and rice actually was so good. It was like a Chinese curry. I don't know, Chinese curried beef or something. I don't know what it was. With like a bit of veggies on the side and rice. It was so good because so the Aussie guy sitting next to me, I had a Chinese guy sitting next to me. And I was like to the Aussie guy, like, oh, like this is pretty good. And he's like, yeah, this is heaps good. So much so that the Chinese guy also heard me say this, nudged my arm and pointed and went, while eating. And if he says it's good, then it must be good.
Is that an authentic review?
Like literally, like he's giving it a massive thumbs up there. So yeah, big up the China Airlines food. And you know, realistically though, as long as your luggage gets there and you get there. You're happy travels.
Did it feel any different to like a normal flight or not really? Did it feel cheaper?
Like, I mean, the interior wasn't as bougie as like a Qantas or something.
Yeah.
But like, you're not on there for the interior.
No.
I mean, it's a flight, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of scat either way that you go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was good. I would recommend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I hope Xi Jinping hears this and like maybe we get some free promotion over in China for this.
Maybe get some free.
Do you reckon they actually had a podcast on China Airlines? The selection of things that you could have. There was one episode of one podcast. And seeing as though, you know, we've had a couple people, we had someone message in and say they listened to 6 episodes straight of the Barflies podcast on their flight.
The Sam Wallace show.
So maybe we should try and jay up a deal with them so that we can, you know, and this is educational. They would learn a lot about Australia. People on flights if they were coming to and fro.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
This could be a big opportunity for us.
Do you know what? One thing about this podcast is we are full of great ideas.
We actually are.
But we have little to no execution.
We don't. We are not the best executors. But we are. We've always been ideas men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are ideas people. We just need like a third party. We need a goer.
We need someone with a bit more ticker and a bit more something than us.
We need someone to take over like after I'm done editing and uploading. We need someone to take over for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Because I like to just kind of pretend we don't have a podcast for the other 5 days.
Until it's the day before and the day of.
Yeah. But you know, also we have lives and et al.
Yeah. Everyone's saying et al now. Is this the new phrase?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
It's called. I've seen it. I've been hearing it catch on. I've noticed.
I actually don't know what it means. I've just heard it other people say. I assume it means etc.
Kind of. Et al is like you use it in uni. Well, I know from uni referencing, and if it's like more than a couple, it's like a multitude of things. It's like you say et al.
Sure.
But yeah, I've noticed that creeping into the vernacular
of the people.
I have indeed. You know what I watched on the plane? That is now one of my favorite movies ever. And I can't believe it took me this long to watch it. And I wish now I watched it in theaters when it was out. But again, I thought it got overhyped, so I didn't want to see it at the time. Everywhere, Everything, All at Once.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
I heard the opposite from someone the other day. Someone said they saw it and they would, I don't know, I think they kind of were going in with high expectations and
right.
They didn't like it as much. But I still haven't seen it either.
Fantastic. Yeah? Absolutely fantastic. Yep. I thought everything about it was great.
Awesome. Good to know.
Yeah. It's quite quite intense though.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Like I didn't think it would be that kind of like, not dramatic, but like, you know, kind of they have like a lot of like quite emotional monologues, especially at the end of the movie. So it was quite cool, but it was a good blend of different genres as well.
Any tears?
No tears, but I was a bit like, oh shit, like heavy. But it was very like creative, very original. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. I thought everything about it was great. And it was like it's like a good blend of like wacky, but you know, still very like made sense. And
cool.
Not too whatever. Yeah, I loved it.
You said you saw Oppenheimer last night as well.
I did see Oppenheimer last night, so it was Ryan. Oppenheimer, also pretty good. I wasn't really sure what to expect from the movie because I wasn't sure if it was going to be like actiony, if it was going to be like a storytelling, but it was more of like a biopic storytelling. And then obviously there was like hints of action in it, but not too much. But it was very good. I enjoyed it very much. Christopher Nolan again, just bringing out another banging movie. I don't think it's his best movie. I did like it, but like it's not. I wouldn't say it's like his best, but it's definitely not his worst. Like, I thought it was heaps good.
3 hours is, I think, just a little bit too much for me at the moment.
But see, I like movies that are kind of long as well, so I don't mind. I don't really mind. But it was super. When I was watching it, like a lot of times when you watch these like kind of Christopher Nolan movies, like especially when they're about space and about time and like physics and stuff, you like afterwards you want to like look up. It makes you want to like find out more about it. And so last night, even this morning when I was on the bus, I was doing a bit of reading about it because I just found it very interesting.
Very fascinating.
And I was like, I wanted to assimilate myself better with some of the characters that were in the movie because there was a couple that I was like, oh, okay.
Who's this person?
I knew who Oppenheimer was, but I didn't know who some of the other people were. And I was like, kind of like, okay, like who's this? What did they do? So and then I was reading about it after.
Great name, Oppenheimer.
Yeah, massive name. The thing is though, they paint him as like quite a hero, or not a hero in the movie, but like obviously he's the main protagonist, and they do have him as flawed. But I imagine, like, in real life, he would have been a bit of a dick.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from what I was reading this morning, I kind of get the feeling like he would be a bit of a dick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to see it at some stage.
Yeah, go and watch it. Hopefully that wasn't like much of that. I didn't spoil anything there, did I?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
No. But again, it's a biopic, so if you want to just like, everyone knows what's kind of going to happen in it. It's like already.
Have you seen Barbie?
I have not seen Barbie yet. I missed out on a lot of the hype for this double header release date of Barbie and Oppenheimer. No, I haven't seen Barbie yet, but I am really keen to see it.
I would like to see Barbie.
Everyone has been. I wanted to do you know how they're saying you got to see them both on the same day. I would have loved to have done that on opening day, but it's just good to see good like people at the movies watching like films made to watch.
Supporting the arts, mate.
Yeah, it's good to see, and like, you know, comparatively, there's been a couple movies made by Disney and stuff in this last 2 weeks that have been put out or other studios that have just been absolutely smashed at the box office, like flopped because these two movies are doing so well.
What else came out?
I don't know. It's like there's like two kids movies,
don't worry
and
about
like just shit ones that have come out.
Right.
But like, it's just good to see good films out at the moment in theaters and not just, you know, trash like there has been for ages.
Yeah.
So it's good to see everyone getting into it because I still really like going to the movies and going and watching them when they come out.
Yeah, going to the movies is fun.
Even on premieres, like I don't mind a midnight screening as well if it's like a really big movie, especially if I don't want a spoiler. Yeah. But I still really enjoy like going there and the whole experience.
Yeah,
and
you're
stuff.
a movie guy, no doubt.
Yeah. Like watching stuff on Netflix is good and watching stuff at home is good, but there's something like a bit, I don't know, just hits different. You know, and like some stuff is made to watch in theaters as well.
Yeah,
like some of those really big movies, like when Dune came out, that's a movie. The sound, everything about that movie is made to watch in theaters. Like even this, like Christopher Nolan movies, like they're not like a Netflix movie where you watch it, you can watch it at home and you don't have to pay attention. Blah blah. Like they're made to sit there and watch and enjoy. You know, like watching, say for example, like I don't know. You don't watch Interstellar for the first time, watching it at IMAX or at the theater is going to be way better than watching it at home. You know,
I've heard that's great. I haven't seen that either. It's on my list.
That's. I reckon that's probably his best movie.
I would like to just start watching movies that are like the ones you've kind of just mentioned there, to make more of an effort to go and see them. Like June, for example. You know, I was kind of hearing the noise about it at the time, but I guess my priorities or interests generally kind of lie elsewhere, but I wish I would sort of just take the time out. Because what does it like take 2 hours?
Yeah.
2 hours of your Tuesday night to like just go and see these movies that are made and, you know, like you say, screened in the cinemas for good reason, you know? So, because I'm just like, yeah, I've probably said on here before, I just haven't seen movies. I don't watch them.
You're not a movie guy.
I'm not one. I don't know. They're just not in my life for whatever reason. Kate's not a huge movie person either. So I don't know. But I'm definitely just kind of a bit non-committal about movies. I think.
I think that's because I definitely grew up always watching like movies all the time. Like was like in love with like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and all that. Like I was literally like obsessed. Like used to like think I was them.
Yeah.
Like I was like freakishly obsessed with them as like a small child. And like, so I think I've always been kind of enjoyed it, and like it's very much our family watches like a lot of movies and stuff as well. So I've just always kind of had like a very big interest in it.
Yeah, naturally.
But yeah, and I love having a look at IMDb as well. You know what IMDb is?
Yeah.
Mate, I love looking at IMDb and you look at something and you find out they've got like a really cool movie coming out in like 2 years. You're like, sweet, can't wait till that comes out. Then it finally comes out and you watch it and it's really good and you're like, oh, awesome.
Unreal.
Blah, blah, blah. Because you get to like see and then you watch the trailer and you're like, oh, holy shit. Like,
nice.
Yeah.
I would like to get more around it.
Yeah. But that's like, but that's when you're being a bit of like and that's a bit nerdy of me, but it's, can't help it. I'm a bit of an undercover nerd, to be fair.
Yeah. I think every guy kind of is.
Yeah. Or about something.
Yeah.
Everyone's a nerd about something.
Yeah.
Some people could be trains. Some people, we're nerds about footy, to be fair. Because think about it, like we know like everything about footy. So yeah, well, not everything, but we know. I
know everything.
Yeah, we know a lot. So
too much. Too much.
Actually, speaking of footy, should touch on this quickly. The Barflies Supercoach comp. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I got knocked out this week in the finals.
How did I go? I actually haven't checked.
I'll have a look. I'll read it out because I feel like it's... Also, thanks everyone for playing and joining in. We've got a full 20 people. Massive.
Do you know what I would think would make this much more interactive next year?
What's that?
Is if we did a draft instead of classic.
Oh, then we'd have to have a group chat for it. It would be absolute carnage. We've already got a group chat for one of our super coaches, and it's just absolute carnage.
Well, imagine doing 2 draft comps.
Oh, it just couldn't. I don't think you could. I think just for mental health reasons as well. I don't think it couldn't
exist.
Okay, so
just talk. Who's gone?
Who's going through? Dragons 23. George and Nathan. Ponga's injured again. First and second. And then they're through to the final straight away. They won
prelim.
Yeah, they won this week. The sudden death finals is Christopher and Ethan, Nikita and 4 and 20 Pies, Brett 266 and Corn on the Cobbo, which is Ricky. They're also versing each other.
Am I done?
You're done as well.
Who beat me?
Brett beat you. Brett 266.
Yeah, I had a shocker in classic this week.
Oh, I got beat. I got beat just. Oh well, happens to the best of them. But yeah, that's the lowdown. There's like the minor premiership one, but no one wants to talk about that. But yeah, thank you everyone for playing this year. We didn't really organise any kind of money pool. This is kind of just like you get the respect from us and maybe some others in there.
Yeah.
Everyone who just made finals made a shout out. So if you're listening right now, good stuff. If you've made it this far into the episode.
Do you know what I just want to touch on quickly? You mentioned it before.
Yeah.
You're on the bus today, mate. Do we need to pour one out for the Astra? Do we need to talk about this?
I'll try not to cry because you did just say you don't like people. You don't have time for people crying in front of you.
Yeah.
But yes, we should pour one out. The great Astra. Look, what does Billy Darcy call it? The road dog. My own personal road dog of Australia. Yeah, just her time came. Pouring out for Ziggy as well. 2 of the greats only within a month. Within 2 weeks.
End of an
within
era.
2 weeks of each other. The two, which was a shame. So yes, the Astra. What happened pretty much with the Astra was, some people will be well acquainted with what the Astra is. It's my really rubbish old car. Has plenty of issues, and these issues were just kind of kept going and kept spiraling. And while I was away, I had to get it regoed. So before I left, I took it to the guy and I said, look, like one of the most glaring issues was, before I talk to the guy, I will say this. The most glaring issue was the transmission. You would turn the car on, you go to put in the gear and it'd go, or like mostly in reverse, and you go, clunk, clunk, and then the gearbox would flash, and it would kind of just you could drive it, but like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And you could get it out of reverse into drive, but then like you maybe or maybe not, it would be working. But again, I think each time that I did that, it might have got it worse and worse. Anyway, I took it to the guy and I said, look, I have to get it regoed, but I know there's heaps wrong with it, and like I don't know if I need to get service as well, whatever. But just have a look. Please don't fix anything. Just have a look and then call me afterwards and tell me what to do, because I can either get it fixed for whatever amount it's going to cost, which will probably be more than the value of the car, or I can get it scrapped and get X amount of dollars. And the guy's like, okay, no worries. So perfect. So go about my afternoon, go and get a coffee with the lads before I leave. And then I get a call and he goes, Alexander, is this you? I say, yes. And mind you, I was going to get $600 for the car from scrap. So he goes, Alexander, is this you? I go, yes. He goes, take the $600. I was like, perfect. So just took it, like drove it home. He's like, oh, I haven't cleared it or anything yet because your rego's not like whatever. Like, I don't know. He's like, I was able to drive it home. And then, car stuff. And then I just took it home, and then I called the scrap guy again. I said, yep, come pick it up. And they come and pick it up for you.
That's good.
You don't have to even drive it anywhere. They come to your house, they pick it up, they take it away.
Well, I can imagine some cars are in pretty rough.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So look, got the cash.
Cash in hand?
Cash in hand, yep. Took everything out of the car. They came and picked it up. Too easy. So that's how the Astra. I did do a little lap of victory around Narrowena. Little farewell.
Yeah.
Little love tap on the bonnet before saying goodbye. But it was time to go.
All good things must come to an end.
All good things must come in. And then Ziggy as well. That
sucks.
That did suck. Yeah. Yeah.
You knew it was coming as well.
Yeah. But like in our house, so I don't know if I've talked about this before, but we thought at one point he was going to die. And I don't know, should we say trigger warning for people with pets or like dead pets?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe a trigger warning. But it's like he had we thought something was seriously wrong with him. And we took him to this like overnight vet. And they were like trying to convince me to like leave him there overnight. Anyway, they were a bit dodgy, I think, and they just wanted more money out of us. But they she did an investigation. She's like, oh, we need to do these tests, and then we'll have to do, which will cost this. They were just talking about money the whole time, and I was like, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you later. Anyway, took him just to the local vet that opened during the day because
This is the following day.
This is the following day because there was something wrong with it at night. And he just said, oh, he's got a bulge disc, so you got to keep him in like one place. So this was like quite a few years ago. This is where the infamous story happened where he bust out of the cage. Have you heard about this?
Oh, maybe.
So he had, as a result of him having the bulge disc that we thought was like a cancer or a tumor or something that was going to kill him. So we kind of were already ready to say goodbye. Anyway, he was fine. We got this cage. He had to stay in this cage and he like hated it. Like he's an outside dog. He always has been. So he's kind of had a garden to roam through, etc. So him being stuck in like 1.5 meters by like maybe 60 centimeter tall cage. I can't remember how big it was exactly. Was his worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mum said she was cleaning the house one day and she heard a noise come from the garage. She's like, "What's that?" She goes to the garage. She opens the door. Ziggy was standing at the door, like wagging his tail. She looks up. The cage is warped. And the door has been busted open. And what he's done, the little staffy, the little nugget, he's in this short run-up, he's just absolutely gone at the door and he's busted out with his head. And mind you, he's got a serious injury. But he was just like, no, I cannot do it.
That ticker simply will not die.
No. And that he was like 11 or 12 at this point. Like he was pretty old.
Yeah.
And he just didn't care. Which kind of was impressive, but it wasn't as impressive when I had to pay $250 for the cage later on. But
did you have to pay for another one?
No, I just had to pay for the one he broke because I was like, I'm not buying.
You were renting it or something.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'm not gonna go and buy another one. He's not gonna stay in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he was fine. But at that point, after there was nothing wrong with him, we began to make like heaps of jokes about him because then we realized, oh, he is actually quite old. And then kind of we started making a lot of jokes,
sort of thing. Yeah.
And like we just started making jokes about him dying all the time.
Yeah.
So then like when he did die, obviously we were all really sad, and like it wasn't like a shock, and we'd kind of already like
Prep yourself.
we already had the
initial
like, oh, we thought blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Which sounds like silly when you say it out loud, but I think it kind of makes sense. But there was, and we were just exchanging a series of funny texts. But there was one thing my sister sent that was like I literally burst out laughing. It was like, but for anyway, it's actually more of an inside joke kind of thing.
Okay.
So I won't actually say it.
You
But
can tell me off it.
anyway, it was like a nice, even though it was a sad moment, it was still a nice moment.
Yeah.
Because then everyone was like telling stories and stuff and like just saying funny stuff on a group
Yeah.
chat.
Little dog funeral on there.
Yeah,
on WhatsApp, mate.
yeah. But Dad made him a little grave at
Oh,
the
nice.
farm, so he's got like a little burial.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with pets really, so I've never had to go through that. Very like traumatizing, I can imagine, for some families.
Yes.
Moments when their beloved pet moves on, but
Yeah. Well, it's just it was good. He just like I don't know. I think there's definitely worse demises he could have met. So I think it's
I love that his name was Ziggy and he was like this fucking
yoked
staffy. Like the last thing he would remind me of was a fucking little Ziggy dog. You know what I mean?
And he like looked like a tiger as well with his stripes on him and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a bit edge. But
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, the great man. Miss him. But yeah, I don't really have too much else right now. Oh yeah, do I? Okay, is this weird? Actually, I got one thing to you.
Okay.
Do you think it's weird that some people don't like cold water? I was traveling with someone. They actually listen. They listen to the pod, right? Shaz should probably be listening now, right?
Do I know this person?
Maybe.
Okay.
You probably have met them. But they were telling me that they don't like cold water.
In what context?
Shout out though. Like if they don't like it at all. Like
To drink or to swim in?
to drink. Like even if they were like really hot, like say if you were like, oh, I'm so hot, I've been running around outside, blah, blah, blah. If they had a choice between tap water and just really cold, refreshing, great water, they would choose tap water. Is that weird?
I'm kind of in that boat as well.
I reckon that's so weird.
I don't dislike cold water though.
But like having like not having it ever.
Okay, yeah, that's
That's
weird.
a bit.
That's weird.
But isn't it the most refreshing kind of beverage? Like a nice glass.
Yeah,
of
actually, no, maybe
ice
I'm
cold
fibbing. No,
water?
I'm fibbing. I would prefer cold. Yeah, you're right. You're
There's-
right.
there's
But
not
I understand. I understand why someone might not.
I think it's strange.
My sister only drink like this is a bit pathetic in my opinion, and same with this person you're talking about. That my sister only drinks cold water. Like it has to. She only she won't drink room temp water.
See, I kind of respect that because I fucking.
But
love
I'm just
cold
like,
water.
oh mate,
I mean-
I talk about this on the pod all the time. But slight inconveniences or slight changes to your food, if you're north of the age of 11, grow up.
But you don't eat tomatoes.
But I will if they're in my food. I'm not going to take them out.
Okay. I won't get you rattled about this because it's an easy way to just G you up. But
Yeah.
you don't.
It's like when, it's the coriander one as well, while we're here. People who refuse to eat coriander,
Yep.
grow up.
Apparently, it's a genetic thing.
Ah, please.
I've heard that yarn, but I don't believe it. I
Please.
love it.
I fucking love
I'll eat it by the
coriander.
fistful. I'll eat it by the fistful if available.
Like a rabbit.
Yeah, like a rabbit.
Yeah.
I'll just get in there, just stuck in. Yeah,
It does
that's
jam me up though.
Do you like soda water?
No.
I fucking love.
I was thinking about this yesterday. I would like to like it. I think I'm just going to start drinking at work until I like it.
You know what? You know what you do?
What?
Put a lime, wedge of lime at the bottom, ice, and then get a lime, squeeze it on top, and then put that lime in, and then soda water. And I kid you not, especially if you're hot, especially if you've been running around, big shift at work, or even if you're a bit hungover, any context actually, absolutely divine. It is creeping its way up my favorite beverage list.
I've seen you make that. I could count maybe 100 times I've seen you make that drink.
Yeah.
I've never tried it. I'll try it when I go to work tomorrow.
It is creeping up. Recently, it's just been going up further and up and up.
Where do you reckon we're sitting? Where are we ranked? What's it below?
It's
and
a
what's it
trending
above?
top.
What's it below and what's it above on your drink list?
Well, coffee's got to be number one. I love coffee. So coffee's like most people. I feel like coffee's been number one. Water. I do thoroughly enjoy
Yeah.
a good glass of water.
I'm probably with you still here.
Yeah. Look, I'm a hot beverage guy, so
Yeah.
tea, any kind of tea
Yeah.
is going in at 3.
Yeah.
Oh, Coke Zero. Coke Zero's at the 4.
Oh, you know what? While we're here,
I love Coke Zero. And then probably 5. I reckon it's definitely...
over beer, soda water.
Oh. I didn't even think about that. I'm thinking circa non.
Okay.
But if
Non-alc.
But actually, to be honest, I enjoy it more than I enjoy a beer. It's more if I have that, I would much rather than. It's just obviously
Contextual, I guess.
it's the part of having the beer that's the most enjoyable is the sharing of yarns and being amongst friends and in like a social setting.
But after a game of soccer, dude, beer at the pub.
Yeah,
you can't
but
tell me. Okay,
but
you've
I
played
would
a game.
I would take a Coke Zero at any time than a beer at the pub after football.
Yeah, sure, fair enough, fair point. Yeah, I agree. You know, the Coke Zero cult is weird. It is a bit culty.
Yeah,
All you people that like Coke Zeros.
you just have to have an esteemed palate to enjoy a Coke
I think
Zero.
Diet is better than Zero. It's interesting that
It's crisper. I don't know what they've put in there to discount the sugar. Or maybe just... You don't get the furry feeling on your teeth and stuff as well after having it. It's just like crisp.
yeah, okay, you're kind of selling it, to be honest.
Yeah. Just... Trust me, mate.
Listen, mate, you've been back for one day. You're already rent free in my head. Is it good? Feel good to be back?
Yeah, it does feel good to be back. Actually, I did have this thought, and I was chatting to someone the other day about this.
Yeah.
But the idea that... I don't know if people did miss me or not. To be fair, I was having a great time while I was away. And I am very happy to be back. But the idea of like being missed is like funny to me.
Do you want people to miss you?
I don't know, but like I think the whole idea of it is kind of funny.
You're like, I'd be so funny if that happened.
No, oh,
It'd be
what,
so
dude?
What?
No,
It'd be so funny if Xander was here.
Yeah, but I just find that like thinking about it from the other person's perspective, I find is quite funny.
Sure.
Or like I find strange, more not funny, but strange. Like it's a weird. I haven't grasped.
Are you
it.
sondering too hard?
I think I have, dude. I'm still on vacay, mate. I'm fucking thinking about shit. Got shit on my mind.
You got to sonder respectfully.
Yeah, that is true. Sonder respectfully is like a number one rule, in just life. I feel like, yeah.
You know in Modern Family how Phil has that book? What's it called?
Philosophy. Sonder respectfully would be in that.
Would be in your one.
Yeah,
Along with your soda water drink and like.
yeah. Philosophy. Class.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, I love Modern Family.
Okay, we're going to wrap this thing.
Okay,
Good to have you back, mate, I will say.
thanks. Did you miss me?
Say it.
Shade.
Say it.
Yeah, good to be back. Great to, hopefully, having my voice back in your ears is nice.
Somewhat pleasing.
I know, pleasing. I know, somewhat. I don't know.
Probably the consistency of the podcast will return. The structure will return.
No structure today. This was a vibe.
Yeah, this is a vibe.
This was a catch up.
Yeah.
This was a catch up.
Yeah, it was. It was. I find in podcasts that I listen to, I enjoy the guest episodes, but then I also enjoy when it's back to regular programming.
Right.
So,
Well, I hope people. Long story short, I hope people enjoy this.
yeah.
I hope everyone. I hope everyone missed me.
Good to be back. Shout out to Ziggy. Shout out to the Astra.
Yeah, Astra, Ziggy.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.